Hey, everybody, it's Pastor Daniel with Connection Church, and today is day 33. We're almost to the end of this thing, and today's special guest is Brian. How's it going, Brian?
Pretty good, Daniel. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. I can't believe I'm actually going to make it through this study. At the beginning, I was
Yeah,
intimidated, but now I'm like, I'm going to do this.
right. Feels great.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on the journey with us.
Yeah, me too.
Today is continuing talking about serving, and so that's what we're learning this week. Our fourth purpose is ministry, and that means serving the body of Christ, and and yeah, and being a servant like Jesus was. And so he talked
Right.
about some characteristics. He said, a real servant acts this way. You're available, you pay attention to the needs that are around you, you do the best with what you have, you do everything with high dedication, you're faithful to ministry, and you maintain a low profile. You're not in it to be shown or to show
Right.
off. It's really good stuff. I enjoyed reading through it. What's something that stood out to you today?
Well, there was actually a couple things that stood out to me. One in a good way and one in a way that I wrestled with a little bit. The good way was the idea of paying attention to the needs of those around you. I think a lot of us miss opportunities to serve, or we might not even think about them as opportunities to serve. If someone's saying a need around you and you might just think they're venting, but you might actually have an opportunity to serve, or there might be
Yeah.
something in church. And so I'm really into that. I think that that's important. I think that we should always be looking for opportunities to serve. But something that kind of I struggled with was the idea that don't make yourself too busy um, to so that you're not serving. But to me, it sounded like he was saying in addition to already serving. So it felt like he was saying that if you're not doing full-time ministry, you're not you're not serving as much
Hmm.
as others. Or I mean, that's literally the case, but I don't know, it just kind of rubbed me the wrong way. I don't know, that's
Yeah.
how I read it.
Well, if it came off across that way to you, I'm sure other people may have, read it that way too. And I was reading through that section, and he talked about making yourselves available to serve, and that's the section you're talking about. And
Yeah.
as I read through it, I think the heart of what he's saying is that a lot of times people will be too busy to serve, and obviously some people have jobs that they're on call, or they're already serving in a high capacity way at church, and so they may have to say no to certain things. But I think what he's talking about here is that sometimes we use our choices of how we fill our time. Like
Right.
we have hobbies, or we have just other priorities in life other than this purpose of serving others, and too often we can say, I'm too busy, I don't have time. And I think the heart of what he's saying is that you have time to do what it is you're passionate about. And I think
Right.
that, I mean, if I really want to, watch a series on Netflix, I can make time to do that. And so I think that's the heart issue of what he's saying. But I know for sure that there are some people with experiences in churches where, they get asked to do this and this and this and this and this, and they just feel like all I do is give, 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 no matter what. And so they're just like, I can't stop. I mean, I can't do everything for everyone. And so
Right.
definitely, I don't think that's the heart of what he's saying, but I can definitely see how that could be an issue.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And I think that is true. Sometimes we can use busyness as an excuse when we really do have time.
Yeah. So I appreciate you sharing that, because I know sometimes people are like, well, I don't want to say what really stood out to me today because it doesn't go, it doesn't toe the line. And
Not this guy.
I'm
I'm
glad you're here to ask that question. So it's good. We need to, there was something I wrote yesterday. It talked about, it's in Romans chapter 9, talks about who are we to question God, and so
Mm,
it doesn't mean that we can't ask him questions. It doesn't mean that we can't ask people questions and ask for clarifications. That was more talking about like a rebellious thing. So it's good for us to ask questions and to clarify, like, what do you mean by this? That's how we
yeah,
grow.
yeah,
Do you have
I
any
think that's true.
closing words for us today? Any encouragement or wisdom that you have?
I would say if you're thinking about serving or if you've never served in church before, do it. It's one of the best choices I've done. It took me like a couple of years to build up the courage to go up to serve. I've always wanted to do it, and it's been so rewarding, even more than I can expect. And so I highly recommend, if you want to serve, if you're thinking about it, go and serve at a church.
Yeah, that's a great recommendation and a good way for us to wrap up today's interview too. There's a lot of reasons we can talk ourselves out of serving, and he covers a lot of those today. And you don't have to be perfect to serve, but you just have to have a willing heart to say, "Hey, how can I help out?" and look for ways to do that. So, hey, thanks for helping me out today with this interview. You did a great job.
Oh, thank you. Thanks for having me. It's always a
Yeah,
pleasure.
look forward to seeing everybody again in person, but we'll do this
Yeah.
until we're able to. But we're out of time. So for everybody else, we will see you guys tomorrow. Bye.